G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. And it's guest week on the Angry Cocktails channel. My friend Abigail's here. Unbeknownst to you, we're doing a live stream on a Friday night, hanging out, having drinks. And I was mentioning to Abigail, someone has declared Goth Day. I said, do you want a Goth video? A Goth cocktail, yes?
I was in. Yeah.
In for cocktails.
Yes.
So we had a few ideas. And what we're coming up with, we're going to do a Goth Martini, because traditionally martinis are pretty much clear. You put gin and a white vermouth in dry vermouth. This, not so much. This will probably really upset martini snobs. Are you down for that?
I am totally down for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I have one question for you. How bold are you feeling? I've got two gin choices. The distiller's strength.
Yeah.
52.4% alcohol.
Yeah.
Or your slightly more standard one,
at
41.5.
I'm super bold.
Let's go nuclear. Let's go nuclear. So
the atomic option.
This is from the Archie Rose Distillery in Sydney, where our friend Kirsten works.
Yes.
And has convinced me to get this one, and it's good. It's a very good gin. So we are going all in with this particular cocktail. So far, the martini snobs will be happy. We're using a pretty gutsy gin. And normally, this is actually going to be a 50-50 gin, which normally I do very dry martini. Are you at all familiar with the terms dry and wet in martinis?
Not totally, no.
Okay, so it's basically, the ingredients are gin and vermouth.
Okay.
Now, don't pay any attention to James Bond. He's a moron. It's gin and vermouth, and not vodka, and most heavily leaning towards the gin. And the more gin and less vermouth, that's dry.
Okay.
More vermouth is wet. So, I like a dry one that's about 4 or 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. So it'll be 2.5 ounces, 60 to 75 mils of gin, and only 15 mils of vermouth.
Sure.
So it's a very gin-heavy drink.
Yeah.
Whereas the inspiration for this came from one they made for Mrs. Angry. She doesn't like dry. We were doing stuff, and we ended up doing a 50-50. So that's not even wet. Like wet is like 2 parts gin to 1 part vermouth.
Okay.
So going 50-50, that's like sopping wet. That's drowning.
Saturated.
That's saturated.
Yeah.
We're doing a saturated thing.
Sure.
So in terms, so that would normally be 45 mils gin, 45 mils vermouth.
Okay.
So I'm making enough for 2 of us. So I'll be putting in like 3 ounces, 90 mils. But for a single serve, we're talking about 45 mils of gin. Here is where I'm going to start upsetting the snobs, because we want this to look really gothy and dark, and that won't happen with a white dry vermouth. I'm going to use a sweet red vermouth. It's a very good vermouth. People should like it. It's another Australian product from Maiden Eye. They do sweet, dry, and classic, which is in between. This is their sweet, and sweet vermouths are usually red. You can't see this, but it's a really nice purpley red colour.
I like purple, in case you haven't
It's actually very, very fitting for Abigail's look. So we'll chuck that in. Now, the other thing we're going to do, this is dirty. I didn't explain dirty as a term. Dirty...
Oh, you don't need to describe dirty.
No. Okay. Kids. Okay, so...
Kids channel.
Yeah. Yes. It's a kids cocktail channel. We can say whatever we want. There are no kids.
Yeah.
No kids.
You'll edit that part out.
Oh my god. There's the thing, like when you upload videos to YouTube, you have to go, is this for kids? And you go, yes or no. I'm going, I'm making cocktails. I don't think it's for kids, even I'm not that bad a parent. A dirty martini is where you have the brine from olives, because olives are a common accoutrement, your garnish on there. Dirty is where you also put in some of the brine. And you'd usually use green olives as a decoration, but because this is Goth, we're using black olives.
Yep.
So the brine is black as well. And The amount I'm putting in, it would classify as filthy dirty, I think. So
it's not as much as I thought you'd put in, but
it's, yeah, half an ounce. I mean, but it's pure salt,
Yeah.
right? So we don't want too much.
yeah, salt with a touch of water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our Goth Martini would just doing something on the live stream there. Our Goth Martini would be classified as a filthy, dirty, sopping, wet. This is not a kids' channel.
This is a Goth Martini.
This is a Goth Martini.
Yes. Filthy, dirty, wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final touch is to stir it down a little, chill it, and a little bit of dilution, because it is an overproof gin we used. And this is another James Bond is an idiot, the whole shaker not stirred thing. Most people are very offended by that. You stir martinis, you don't shake them. So, with my magic finger from Gaz Regan, all we're doing, chilling it, like a cold martini, diluting it a little bit, because that's a very strong gin we put in. And I'm going to do that. And I've got a Hawthorn strainer somewhere. Here we go. So, here, I'll get you to hold. One for you and one for me.
Sure.
I'll just do a little strain. How much is in mine? Oh, I actually got it right, I think. Aha, there we go. So,
No stress, all strain.
So this is our Goth Martini, the filthy, dirty, dripping wet. Cheers.
Cheers.
What does it taste like is a big thing. Ooh, I'm down with that.
Yes.
I am down with that.
Not as salty as I expected.
Yes, yeah.
The gin is very nice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And the vermouth's doing good backup. Maiden and I make a great vermouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all down, if you want a good martini, it's down to the quality of your gin and the quality of your vermouth. Like I said, I will have upset some snobs by using sweet vermouth, although I've also heard this referred to as a red martini, so not the only person in history to put sweet vermouth.
I can see the redness, but then the black olive has turned it into kind of a very dark black red.
So it is a very goth martini. I think very suitable for goth day.
Yes.
So if you're looking for something a bit different, also if you've ever tried a martini, because martini's super boozy, and it normally has more gin and less vermouth than this, and if you've ever I can't get around a martini, maybe, cheat, make one with sweet vermouth, because it's a bit easier to get into than one that's dry vermouth. I think this works really well.
This is quite a nice martini.
Yeah, so would it be wrong to say happy goth day? It's like gloomy goth day, isn't it?
Have a goth day.
Yes, have a goth day. Have a goth day, have a goth martini, or another suitably gothy drink. Yeah. We're going to enjoy this and sign off. Thanks for joining me, Abigail.
Thanks for having me.
Fun having you over. We're going to knock off these martinis. I hope in the meantime you all stay well, as we live in a weird world now.
Sick, sad world.
It is the weirdest time. The last year making these videos, wanting to say, hey, how you doing? And the answer could be, no, real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah,
so,
that is a legit answer nowadays.
Yeah, so do your best to look after yourself, look after people around you, and I do hope you come back. So hey, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let me know if I've offended you with a sweet vermouth martini. But we're gothing it up. We'll see you another time. Until I do see you again, cheers.
Cheers.